is everybody set? We're ready to welcome our maestro.
My name is Al.
Have you?
I got the melody. Yeah, I got it.
It's not as bad as looking straight down, but you still don't acknowledge either of the sides that you want to.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, it felt very like robotic almost. Probably, I tell you were thinking about applying the things that we've heard already.
Right.
But it did not feel as believable.
When you're looking, are you looking at players, or are you kind of looking over, you know?
At and also like through, just kind of 1,000 yards there sometimes, just when I get nervous. I'm looking, I have that bad habit, I'm looking, but I'm also thinking, so I can't
Do you ever make eye contact? Do you know that you make eye contact?
I try sometimes.
Okay.
That's what it felt like.
Okay.
You're using your face more, but can you even, like, where the dynamics change, like,
Sure.
Can you magnify that
Yep.
a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Like you look very pleasant.
Yeah.
And if you, yeah.
Excitement more. Okay.
Why does John Bolton was getting beat to death? You look very pleasant. And you know what that's about in a way, and you know, the first time I ever played Northwestern Grange, I was a sophomore in college, and my college band director made this very impassioned storytelling about how this was a story of unrequited love. Well, you know, 20 years later, when I found the text, I was like, well, we got sold a bill of goods. But to his credit, he sold it, you know? So, you don't have to tell the same story, but, you know, what is it that you want in the story? You know, one of the things about the looking at players that I've found helpful over the years, particularly if I'm going to start a concert, before I put my hands up, I just kind of scan the room, you know, make sure percussion or, you know, got what they need, you know, everybody's there, and I try to have a gentle look on my face, not like, oh, this is gonna, you know, just try to be pleasant, and then, you know, they look back at me, and they were all kind of on the same page, and then beep, 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 whatever it is, you know? So can you do the walkout thing again? And can you sort of take in what they've told you? And can you sort of make contact? You see how quickly I just did this? And I looked everybody in the eye. She was yawning, so she didn't look at me back. So I'm not calling her out. I'm just saying that's what I'm aware of.
Okay.
So if somebody's, you know, still swabbing their clarinet or they're reaching down for a mute or whatever, you got to take that in. Okay, try it. How did that feel where you're sitting?
Way better.
You thought it was better because you smiled.
Yeah, it just makes it a little bit more human. So, you know, you're a big guy and you lift. So you can be a little bit scary, maybe, you know, somebody who's smaller or who doesn't lift weights for artistic reasons. Just process that, and it also, I know it helps me just take that extra breath. You know, I'm not doing the
Like the whole before.
yeah, but I'm just, because the next hour and a half is going to be busy.
Yeah.
And if I do that between pieces, it doesn't like slow it down. At least Rob can tell me, does it feel like it's like too much in the audience when you've been at concerts?
No,
Yeah.
no.
So it's quick, but it's very process oriented to put us all in the same space.
Okay.
All right? So let's try it one more time, and this time we'll continue.
The beginning, it was a lot easier to follow. It just seemed much more smooth,
Sweet, yeah.
connected.
Cool.
I have a minor technical thing. At 34, I think. No, before that, 31. At the end of the bar,
Yeah.
you kind of looked at me and you were like really slow and heavy with your subdivision, and then you had nowhere to go at the end of bar 33. That was
How to make that comfortable. I looked at him, we made like mental comment, I'm like, that's not comfortable for me, how do I do that? But it was an attempt there, so.
You know, I think what has to happen in that baseline is that your down and dirty is good, but then you put them all in the same place.
Right.
So if you go dee, you're pulling the rope
Right.
out so that 34 you're already there. What you want, and this you're not alone in this. You wind up putting it in the same place, and then 30 the down big arrival point is wham rather than,
Got it, okay.
you know. So I think if you can make it elongated horizontally while continuing to make it heavy, and that's just lifting and placing and dropping and gradually feeding that growth to the outside.
Got it, okay.
There's a little bit of disconnect between your thankful smiles
Okay,
and the intensity of what's happening.
okay.
So that's, you know, when I was joking a while ago, like you looking like you're smiling,
Wasn't
you know, the deeds are happening. It just, you have to be, if you can acknowledge, as you did a couple times with your eyes, thank you, as opposed to smiling, that would be, I think, a more authentic
Okay.
look. And then at the end of the movement, if it goes really well, rather than going, they suffered. You could just do something like, you know, it's over. Now we have to play this in tune.